Have you ever felt like the K-pop world is holding something big, something that hasn't been announced yet, but already feels the vibe? Today, we will discuss one small moment that actually caused a very big echo in the hearts of millions of BTS fans. Some time ago, Jungkook said one simple sentence about Jimin. There was no official announcement. There was no press conference. No teaser from the agency. Just a short sentence. But it is precisely because of its simplicity that many people feel that something is different. Jungkook is known to be very careful in choosing words. His words are usually calculated. So when he mentioned Jimin in a warm and meaningful tone, the public immediately paid attention. This is not just a platitude. This is no ordinary nostalgia. There are emotional nuances that are difficult to ignore. In the highly structured world of K-pop, every word of a big idol rarely comes out for no reason. Because of this, many industry analysts, entertainment journalists, and the army began to ask questions. Is this just an expression of feelings? Or is this a signal about something that is being prepared? Jungkook and Jimin have always been side by side. The two are known to have very strong chemistry on stage. They are not only group mates, but also an artistic couple who are often considered to represent a balance between technique and emotion. Jungkook is known for his vocal stability and strong performance. Jimin is known for his deep emotional expressions and movements full of flavor. When the two are on the same stage, many fans feel that something is complete. However, when BTS entered a period of solo activity, one big question arose. Will that creative bond live on? Or will it just be a part of the past that we remember with longing? Jungkook's recent statement seems to reopen that question. It does not mention the word comeback. He did not announce any new projects. But he was talking about someone who always understood the direction of his music. Someone who makes you feel safe at work. To a layman, this may sound like a personal reflection. But for industry and army watchers who have been following BTS for a long time, this feels like a clue too obvious to ignore. It didn't take long. Live social media is full of analytics. Jungkook's video is playing back. Every pause, every smile, every intonation of his voice was noticed in detail. Many ask, is all this just a coincidence? This phenomenon shows how strong the emotional connection between BTS and their fans is. Meaning is born not only from what is said, but also from what is not said. To understand why this feels so big, we need to look back at Jungkook and Jimin's history. Since their trainee days, they have been known to have different approaches to art, but complementary. It is precisely this difference that creates a unique balance, but the BTS journey is not always easy. Global pressures, public expectations, and industry demands have forced them to make many strategic decisions. One of them is to focus on solo activities. In this phase, Jungkook and Jimin explore each other. Many people think this is a sign that the duo's era of synergy is slowly fading away. But Jungkook's statement seems to challenge that assumption. He talks about security, about support, about space to experiment without fear of failure. In the creative world, a sense of emotional security is an important foundation for the birth of great works, and so, new questions arise. Is this a sign of readiness to create something together again? The next year in the K-pop industry is not an ordinary time. Many large schedules are usually planned well in advance. If there is indeed a collaboration plan, Jungkook's statement could be an early signal to gauge the public's response. What made the situation even more emotional was Jimin's silence. To date, he has not given a direct response. But his silence sparked more speculation. In communication, silence can also have meaning. Many ask, is Jimin preparing something? Or do you just want to make this moment special? The army was between two emotions. Enthusiastic, but also anxious. Hope, but fear of disappointment. Two feelings that often run together in BTS's long journey. International media began to raise this issue with a wider perspective. Some analysts said that the return of Jungkook and Jimin could be the catalyst for a new phase of BTS. A more mature, more reflective and more emotional phase, but there are also those who remind not to speculate too far. That the artist also has the right to express feelings without always having to be linked to big plans. Even so, the wave of emotions that has already appeared is difficult to contain. For many ARMY, Jungkook and Jimin are not just idols. They are part of living memories. From adolescence, a time of struggle, and a time of hope, when Jungkook spoke about Jimin in a warm tone, many fans felt as if their own memories were touched. Perhaps the biggest question is not, will they make a comeback, but why can one sentence shake so many hearts? The answer lies in the relationship they have built over the years. A relationship that goes beyond the stage and the charts. Relationships that touch the most basic human emotions, and as long as the relationship still exists, hope will always live, whether it's going to be a big comeback, a small collaboration, or just a moment of honesty. One thing's for sure. Jungkook's words have reopened space for imagination and hope, and from that moment on, the atmosphere between the fans was noticeably different. There is a feeling as if something is moving slowly, although it does not yet look like its shape. No official announcement, no countdown, no teaser. But it is precisely this calm that makes many feel something is being prepared behind the scenes. A few days after Jungkook's statement, snippets of the old video re-emerged. Old interviews, training moments, to small interactions between Jungkook and Jimin that used to feel ordinary, are now being rewatched with a new angle. Many are beginning to realize how often the two support each other, even through small things that might not be realized before. This phenomenon shows how the collective memory of the ARMY works. Old memories are not only stored, but constantly revived. Every smile, every laugh, and every look in the past now feels like it has a deeper meaning. It's as if all of that is forming one big pattern that is only visible now. In the discussion rooms, calmer and more reflective conversations emerge. No longer just enthusiastic shouts, but also conversations about maturity, about BTS's long journey, and about how the members have grown into more mature artists. Many longtime fans began to say one and the same thing. That perhaps, no matter what will happen later, this moment will be enough to remind them why they have survived all this time. Not only because of the songs, but because of the human connection that feels sincere. Jimin's silence also continued to be a topic of conversation. Some felt his silence was a form of caution. Others feel it's a way to keep things special. But almost all agreed, the silence was not emptiness. In the fast-moving entertainment industry, keeping one moment hanging can actually be a way to build emotional depth. And BTS is known to understand very well how to build long journeys, not just short moments. If one day Jungkook and Jimin really stand back on the same stage with a new work, many people will remember these days as the starting point. Not as an official announcement, but as a moment when hope began to grow back slowly. But even if that doesn't happen in the near future, this moment will still be remembered as a reminder that their bond has never really gone away, and perhaps, therein lies BTS's greatest strength, not on how often they appear, but on how one sentence alone is able to make millions of people pause, remember, and hope to return.